Hi guys, I'm back. It's Laura here from BoomX Beauty Beat, and I just wanted to say hello and thank you so much for allowing me the time to recharge my battery and decide upon the direction I want to go with my channel, which is what I want to talk to you guys about. And then I've got an extremely personal and raw tarot card reading with Titania, and it's Tarot with Titania, who I interviewed previously on this channel, but she's doing an updated reading with me, and I recorded the whole thing for you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I hope you're behind me on these decisions, and I appreciate you so much. So let's get rolling. In my first interview with Titania, I was, kind of scared of tarot. I thought it was like conjuring something. I didn't know what it was really because I had never done it before. But after you see and you get to know Titania, you will understand what she's all about. She is such, I don't know how, but a beautiful woman of the universe. Like, she's just a wonderful, wonderful lady. And when I was feeling, burnt out and lost, I sent her an email and asked her if she might be able to help guide me on a direction, because I just didn't really understand my burnout. And turns out that, sort of following your soul's purpose is the strategy behind keeping yourself excited and refreshed. And there's so much more. So I hope you guys have a little time to grab a cup of tea and watch this reading. If you've never seen a tarot reading before, this will be a new experience. And if you've had them done or seen them before, you'll quickly see how amazing Titania is. And without further ado, this is the very personal but life-changing tarot reading done with Titania, and all her information will be linked in the description box if you yourself want to get a reading with her, or contact her regarding all of the things that she offers. Okay, let's roll it.
So this is the recent past. The influence is waning, but it continues into the present, into the future. Here's the Tower. So the Tower, this is about major transformation. This is about things coming down to their foundations. This is a card we've seen a lot in the past year at the readings that I've been doing. We've been seeing this over and over again. And for individuals as well as our collective world, this kind of is an ongoing theme. Things that are out of integrity, things that no longer serve us, are falling down in a way. And it's creating a clean slate. It's like the garbage is getting cleaned away. And we may not even see it as garbage, but it's getting cleared away so that we can get up and get going and do what we're here to do with all of this stuff removed, because it's really important. We're at a threshold collectively, humanity, and it's important that we get the garbage out of the way so that we can get on with what we're here to do and to do it well. So this card is actually sitting in your recent past. It's the first card of your reading. So it's this energy of transformation, this energy of things coming down, or things falling down, or things maybe that you thought were stable, not stable, but this sort of the shaking up of what is. And the other thing that often is represented by the Tower, it's like the lightning of truth coming down and hitting the Tower and causing it to crumble and fall. So this is the quality of the energy of the Tower. It's a major arcana, and in tarot there are two decks, major and minor. And the major arcana are pay attention cards. You really want to see and understand that this is part of your soul growth, your evolution, why you're here on the planet, and what you're here to give and offer the world. So this is the energy that you're coming from. It's going to be continuing to influence you in the next little while. So it's very interesting. So your present card now is the card, it's called Success. And it's a lovely card of finding community, of being with community, of collaborating with like-minded people, of sharing the journey, sharing the work. And not just the work, but celebrating together, like really enjoying the camaraderie. Like when you come together, it's like people are finding their people right now. It's the gift of the internet has been tremendous for that. So wherever you are, with the old falling away and the things that were getting in the way of you being able to access what's true for you, It's now you're finding your people. You're finding the people that you want to celebrate with and enjoy life with and grow with and expand with. And so that's what this card is all about. This is the energy. Your present environment is this energy. And as I said, the name of the card is success, but it's this energy of the success that comes from collaboration, from community, from being together and finding your people and enjoying your people and growing together.
Mm-hmm.
The near future is the card of opportunity, the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands so the suit of Wands is all about creativity, inspiration, and passion. And so we have these incoming rays, these golden rays of inspiration incoming, and these little cherubs are playing underneath them. And it's this very kind of happy card. And you see there's flowers blooming where the rays are coming in and touching the cherubs. So it's like this incoming inspiration that's kind of fun. It's playful. It's taking you in new directions. So it's like this opportunity for you to share your gifts in a good way and to do it in a way that's exciting and inspiring and that will bloom for you. That will be rewarding for you. That will bring you satisfaction in the work that you're doing. So this is the near future. So it's like this shifting from what wasn't working to reframing what's important. What's the value? Like, what is it that's really important about the work that you're doing and what you want to contribute in the world? And then as a result of this clearing away and this reframe, you have this opening up, this expansion of possibility and more clarity about where, of course, you're going to take your creative expression and talent. So that's in the near future. The foundation card, this is why we're having the reading today. The card is frustration. Just a pretty apt card, I think, considering our little conversation. So here we have this farmer, and he's been working really hard. He's been doing a lot of work, and he's not happy with how things are coming up. The ground looks kind of parched. We have clouds up here. It's just not a happy scene. And so there's just this feeling of kind of futility, of spinning one's wheels, of where is this going and why isn't it going where I want it to go? And the amount of effort not really commensurate with the reward or the satisfaction that's coming from the effort that you're putting into this. So this is the foundation. This is why we're having the reading, is this energy of frustration.
Yeah.
And, Pentacles has to do with the material world as well. I just want to say that. So Pentacles is money, it's material things, that kind of stuff. And it can be business. It could be the stuff of life, and it's, as I said, the minor arcanas have to do with the four elements, which has to do more with our mundane day-to-day. It's still important. It's just not the soul growth stuff that's happening here. There's a real breakdown here of those structures that weren't serving you, the radiant, amazing, expressed individual that you're here to be. And so that has to go so that you can move forward in these ways. And that's part of your frustration, is this wrestling with what you think or what you thought and these structures and these beliefs and what your heart's calling to you towards, what you know in your heart to be true.
Yeah.
But you just don't know how that's going to happen yet. So there's a breakdown, and that's okay. You just don't have the answers yet. That's all that indicates. It's not a permanent state. It's just right now, you're just not clear, and that's okay. Okay. How you need to conduct yourself. We have the Lovers. So the Lovers is a major arcana. Okay. Soul growth card. And the Lovers, what's really, I find kind of amusing about this particular deck is you have this woman, and she has all these bars of light coming off of her chakras. So she's an activated, enlightened individual. She's coming at life from a very intentional and lovely place. And she's dancing with this guy here, and she's holding him in true love's light embrace. But he's distracted by this sort of sultry creature down here. So it's like this distraction from your true calling, this distraction from your true beingness, what you're here to do, the work that you're here to do, with this idea of what it's supposed to be, right? So the Lovers, it can mean lovers and relationships, but it's more about your relationship with you and your capacity to be in integrity with all of you and to have all of that there. So, that it's like your internal masculine and feminine, that balance. So the subconscious and the conscious mind, there's something there that just needs to be looked at. So this is sitting in the position of how you need to conduct yourself. And it's like this opening your eyes and looking very clearly at what it is that you want. This sultry thing down here that's got the conscious mind, your conscious mind distracted?
Mm.
What is that? What is it that you think you want? And is it true? Or is it what's contributing to this feeling of frustration?
Okay.
We could talk more about that more. We could turn over more cards. Let's just get through this spread and then we'll go from there.
Gotcha.
Okay. Next card is how others are going to be. We have the card of courage. So this card, we have a guy, it's the 7 of Wands. So again, it's the suit of creativity, inspiration, passion. And he's standing with his back to the wall. And there's a lot of incoming sort of energy towards him. But he's standing on a rose, which is the symbol of love. It's the symbol of being in integrity, being heart-centered, being in his heart, coming from that place of love. But it's having the conviction to stand your ground, to stand in that place of trusting you're here doing the right thing for you. Others may not understand it, but you just have to have the conviction and to stand in that space. Now, this is in the position of how others are going to be. So there's this quality of courage, seeing others. We were talking, I know this has to do a lot with your channel and the things that you're wanting to do and where you're going. And what you're seeing in others is their conviction and their capacity to stand. And that's that admiration for these people. I mean, I think that's what we all respond to, right? When people are in integrity, they're congruent, they're doing what they say they're going to do, and they're holding that space. And it's like, oh my God, I'm so impressed by that person because they really have courage. They're really standing their ground and holding their space. And we love them for it and we appreciate them for it. But it also calls forth from us, how do I get to be that way? I admire that in somebody else, but how do I do this in my own space? So our relationship with others is part of this picture as well. So this is what's sitting in the position of others, is this energy of courage. And I think what I'm seeing here in this card for you is the courage. I feel like it's connected to this card, this community card, this finding your people, and the courage that comes when you have your people around you. And you share your vision and your energy, and you support each other in being the most expressed that you can be. And again, it's a wand, right? It's creativity, inspiration, and passion. So it's about having the courage to have voice and to be clear about your unique voice. And that's what we love. I mean, again, that's what we're all attracted to when we come on to YouTube and the media, the various self-generated media. Those people we respond to the most are the authentic people, the people who are just coming, they're being themselves, they're sharing who they are, and we love them for it. Yeah. This is sort of what this energy is about. It's also trusting that you have something to say and that it's worthwhile. So it's a good card. It's a lovely card. So that reminder to have courage and to pursue what it is that you have to offer in the world. And again, you may not have it all figured out yet, but life is a process. Yeah. But even in the process of unfolding that, you're going to find greater satisfaction and more truth and integrity for you going forward. Yeah. Yeah. Because this is like trying to be the blonde one who has the successful channel and doing the same thing, right? That's what the card of the Lovers is saying. It's like, you can't try to be that other person who's successful and do the same thing because it's not authentic. Right. It's that you've got to be the beautiful, unique expression that you are. And that's what people will resonate with. Okay. And then our outcome, we have the Princess of Pentacles. And so in my deck, the Princess is another deck of pages. And it's like a baby. It's like a new beginning. It's like a fresh start on the level of materiality, Pentacles, earth element. So this could be a new beginning, a new venture, a new start in the area of the material world and what you're about. And so this is the outcome. This is what you're moving towards. So yes, there's upheaval, there's unknowns, and there's difficulties, but you're moving through it. And as a result of that, you'll have community, greater clarity. You'll be moving in an authentic way towards what you want. And as a result of that, you'll be able to be like 100% behind whatever you're doing because you're pulling yourself into alignment. And you're not the only one that this is going on for right now. This is planet wide, and we're all at different levels of it. But that importance of us, who are we? And what are we here to offer? because we're here to be in service. It's not just about here to come and have a take experience.
Yeah.
Where the greatest satisfaction is to be expressed is where we share our gifts, and we're seen and acknowledged and recognized for our gifts. So this is really strong on the planet. We've had this amazing year of lockdown where we've had an opportunity to think about, you know, who am I? What am I doing? Why am I here? What's important to me? And really get clear about that. And now we're sort of parsing that out and deciding, well, where am I going to go? How am I redirecting my future? And so what you're going through personally, I just want to say is also very recognizably what we're all going through. There's this calling in our hearts towards our integrity, towards our fullness of expression, towards what we're here to give the world. And when we listen to it and we move in that direction, that's the direction of our highest enthusiasm. That's life calling to life. When we're excited, that's life calling to us. So when we go in that direction, that's when we are at our greatest, happiest, most expressed state. And again, finding people who share that is just the bomb. I mean, it's one thing to do it yourself and enjoy it, but it's another thing when you have the amplification of a group of people of like mind. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So how does this sit with you?
It's totally relevant. Yeah. I mean, for me, I think this year, this year is for me trying to get my mojo back. Like it's been very transformative in a lot of ways. But I also noticed myself starting to do some behaviors like, I have got so much makeup over this year purchasing wise, and it goes against my fundamental core where I'm not very much I'm not really consumer driven person. It's never sat well with me, even Christmases and things. I would, not like to see my children be a gimme, get me, that kind of situation. And I love beauty. I love makeup, but there's an aspect of all of this that is not resonating with me. And I think that's where a lot of the fight is. I don't believe in a person needing to like over purchase the newest, the best, like constantly. I mean, to the point where you're going in credit card debt. I'm not, but it easily has happened, and it's happened for other, YouTubers. And it's beautiful that there's some people that can maybe afford to do that. I'm on a budget. Like I can't continually ridiculously purchase, every new thing that comes out. And I don't really want to. Like when I have excess, I start to feel uneasy or uncomfortable and wasteful. And I don't like that feeling. And because I'm feeling like that, I also feel like I don't really belong with some of the people that I've met, because that is the kind of go-get-itness of the, beauty influencer space where it's a lot about doing reviews and all of that kind of thing. And it was exciting to learn about all the lines because I have been away from it for so long. It was really fun, but it's definitely a dead stop for me. Like I just feel like, a no buy situation where I just want to, like, if I have to get a foundation for myself, I'm out of everything, then I will. But I don't like just to have 9 or 10 or 12 foundations sitting around collecting, and just using one little time and wasting. Those kinds of things bother me, and I can't pretend they don't. And so I'm in a place where I want to, like you said, be more authentic with what I really want to do with this and help in a way that I feel like I really am helping, not hurting someone by making them feel like they have to run out and have all this stuff in order to feel or be beautiful as a person. Like it doesn't sit well. And so I'm in that place right now. And it's like, I almost feel like I have to say goodbye to some people that I've met because I don't want to be pulled in to all of that. And so if that makes any sense.
Well, it's good. I mean, you're clarifying for yourself. I mean, that's the fun thing about being in a human body stumbling around on the earth plane is that we're figuring it out as we go. Yeah. Nobody has it all figured out. We just figure it out as we go. And so what's really awesome is that over the past year, you've given yourself a chance to play. You've given
Right.
yourself a chance to explore this world that you love and learn about it again, because as you said, you were away from it. And you've also learned about how a lot of people are doing their channels and what it's all about. And you've learned that that's not really interesting to you and it doesn't align up with your values. So there's actually a lot of information here for you to be able to use to clarify for yourself what a more congruent approach to your work would be. You know, it sounds like, you know, okay, so the purchasing of lots of product is not necessarily in alignment with where you're going, but you still have a love of beauty and a love of, you know, helping people to find their own beauty. And I could really see how you have a lot of resources and a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom, and how if you line up with that, you'll have that wonderful opportunity to share what it is that you're here to share, and to do it in a really good way.
Okay.
So with this bigger spread being done, why don't we get into your specific questions?
Okay.
So, like, what do you need to know next about your channel, or whatever it is that's uppermost for you? Does that sound okay?
Yes, that sounds great. I didn't know we could ask those kinds of stuff. Okay, that's great.
Okay, so what would you like to explore? What are some of your questions?
Will this new direction where I want to take the channel in, you know, a really nice, what I want it to be is beauty, lifestyle, self-help for the mature woman. Will that be something that will grow and be prosperous? Is that a good question?
Okay. Well, it's more like tarot, for instance, when you ask a question, it's more, what do you need to know about something? So why don't we start with, what do you need to know about this new direction that you're conceiving of? Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just start there, and then we'll go more specific. Because, you know, I just want to say that when you go in the direction, again, we were just talking about this, that direction of your highest enthusiasm, that's where your greatest satisfaction is going to be. That's where the ease is going to come. It's just going to be easy to do it. It's not going to feel like work, because you're doing what you love, right?
Right. Yes.
So more like this idea, this concept of a lifestyle channel. Let's see, what does Laura need to know about this new direction that she's thinking about for her channel? So we get the High Priestess. Now, this is a great card. And I think it's kind of fun, especially with combined with that Courage card. Okay, so the High Priestess is like the aspect of the feminine. It's a major arcana, right? So it's a pay attention card. It's it's technically the third card of the major arcana, but the High Priestess represents the collective consciousness, the subconsciousness, blah, blah, blah. But she also represents the aspect of the feminine that we're not comfortable with. This is the aspect of the feminine that is very strong, very clear, knows what she wants, doesn't suffer fools gladly. I mean, you got to think, the High Priestess who's running a temple full of people, like she wouldn't put up with nonsense or garbage, but she also understands the secrets of life and death and the mysteries of life. Like she's this remarkable energy. So this is coming with regards to your, what do you need to know about this new direction that you're going in? Now, what I think is kind of fun, what I'm getting from this is, on our planet right now, we're waking up. We've been stuck in a three-dimensional iteration of human experience. We've been trying to keep our bigness stuffed in a little box. That's all what we've, you know, our culture tells us that, or everything. It's like, we have quantum physics, we have quantum physics, but it hasn't been applied to our life. Everything is still stuck, like our medical model, well, anyway, it's like they're not teaching it, or it's not being learned, or it's not there yet. We haven't broken out of that very materialistic, reductionistic paradigm that we've all been stuck in. And what this is telling me is that your exploration with your channel needs to be broader. It needs to go to maybe those woo-woo places, because the High Priestess, again, she is the connection. She understands life, death, mysteries, like the subconscious, the collective consciousness, like this idea of mystery, of understanding ourselves better, going into those places that are curious and leave us wondering more, or things that we've come across. We're like, well, is that true? Is it not true? And just exploring that. And I kind of get the sense that with your channel, you'll have the most fun if you let yourself expand your focus a little bit and go to these places. So, whatever interests you,
I got chills when you were speaking. Does that mean anything? Like, so I guess that's resonating because I was getting like full body chills. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's usually, well, I mean, for a lot of people, that's their sign, right? That's they're hearing something true for them.
Yes.
So it might be really fun to, you're talking about a lifestyle channel. Well, your own soul growth and evolution and transformation and your exploration of that, and as you're curious about things, you got to know that other women are curious about these things too.
Right.
Because we're all what we are, right? So as you pursue the things that you're fascinated by, some of it might not appeal to everybody all the time, but generally speaking, this exploration is fun. It's kind of neat. I think that's what I'm getting from this is an opportunity for you in your own growth, your own evolution, your own spiritual expansion, to understand yourself better and to grow more as an individual, but also to leverage that as an opening to have more understanding and for us to become more comfortable with these other aspects of ourselves and to explore them in a good way.
Wow.
How does that sit with you?
Yes, like that is so beyond bang on because that is sort of the reason I want to do the channel is for me to learn and grow and help others do the same. Is that if that makes any sense? Because there's so much I don't know and I want to learn. Like I think where I feel insecure is when I don't know about something and I am just learning about it. It's hard to speak as an authority on something like that, but that's not necessarily what the channel has to be. I don't have to be an authority on everything, but sometimes I think I do have to be. Yeah, I'm super curious person and on so many different topics. And yes, I love to know,
Well, and that could be part of your vision for the channel. Is the courage to explore your curiosity and to share that journey with others. I mean, you've had some great videos, when you're introducing other women and you're, and I've loved your creativity and the beauty work that you've done on your series. I mean, it's been fantastic. And you're curious about a lot more than just these things. I know that from our conversations. So, how much more fun, like, again, thinking about, those people, those YouTubers that we all really love to follow and who are courageous and who are bravely going in directions that are kind of unusual. I mean, let's face it, if it was the same old, who'd want to watch it? Yeah. And that's, I think about Goop. I don't know it super well, but that whole enterprise, and I've forgotten the name of the actress who started that. Anyway.
What's Goop? I don't know what Goop is.
Actress, Gwyneth Paltrow. It's a retail, it's a business thing, but at the same time, it's an enterprise where they're exploring alternative and different things. And they have a series that they did on Netflix about exploring, like they did a series with Wim Hof or an episode with him, who's the Iceman, and he does this controlled breathing thing. So you jump into ice water. And so she's been exploring kind of like really interesting sort of fringe stuff that's definitely not mainstream, but it's so fascinating to learn about these things that exist on the planet. Wrong, right, bad, good, whatever. Let go of the judgment and just get curious. And I think that's where we need to go as humanity. I think we've been so trained in our education system to be afraid of making mistakes that we're not exploring anymore. We're not curious. We're not letting ourselves have permission. We're afraid of looking bad. And I think that's one of the things that's holding humanity back. It's this, we're here having a human experience. Let's explore it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, when things are a hard stop for me or I'm going in the wrong direction, it's like a hard stop. Like I cannot. Do you ever see a dog that you're walking and all of a sudden they just decide they don't want to walk anymore and you've got to try to pull them along on their leash and there's just no way they're moving? I've seen dogs do that. That's how it feels inside when I'm at a place where I mean, I call it burnout, but it might not be burnout. It might be something else. It's something like wrong direction, have to reset or something.
Well, I think that, there's probably a few pieces there, because it's exhausting to go against your inspiration and your
Right.
curiosity and your flow.
Yeah.
I think that's why we have burnout in our culture, is we're trying to be something that we're not. We're
Yeah.
trying to fit in. We're trying to look good. We're trying to, do the cookie cutter thing, but that's not who our heart is calling us to be. And
Yeah.
it's really devastating, I think, for our health, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health, to turn the dial off on that part of us, because again, our enthusiasm is life flowing through us.
Yeah.
And what we're excited about is life saying, that's where you're going. That's what we want you doing. That's where we want you to be. And so when we don't give ourselves permission to go, it takes energy, but it's energy against life. It's like we're turning down the valve of life flowing through us. And eventually I think we kill ourselves. I really believe that. And so you feeling uninspired and not motivated and undecided and just not able to get a bead on where you want to go, to me, that just sounds like you've kind of fallen off your path a little bit. And it's time to just take a moment and start getting curious about you. What would be fun if you were going to keep going with this channel? What would be fun if you could do anything? If you could interview anybody, what would it be?
Yeah.
Where would you start? I mean,
that it invigorates me, just you saying it, because that is exactly who I am. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I've got 2 more questions.
Perfect.
Okay, so maybe I'll go for the friendship stuff and then I'll go personal. So on the for me, I always feel like I don't quite fit in to anywhere. And so maybe some guidance on how to find my tribe. Is that the right thing to say, or?
Sure. Well, what do you need to know about finding your people?
I think so. Yeah. That would be.
Well, I'll just say this. When you start going in the direction of your highest enthusiasm, that's where all your people are.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I think that makes sense, because they're all excited about the same thing. So it's kind of like going to a mechanics convention when you really love gardening.
Yeah.
If you go to a mechanics convention, you're not going to meet your people.
Right.
But if you go to a gardening show, you're going to find your people.
Yeah.
So let's just pull the question anyway, but the card.
Okay.
Anyway. So what does Laura need to know about finding and connecting with her people? Okay, I have to think about this one. You got the Nightmare card, the 9 of Swords. So okay, so what the Nightmare card means? It's like when you wake up from a nightmare, you believe that's what's true. You're in the nightmare. Your heart is pounding. That's what's real. And then you wake up and you're like, oh my God, thank goodness that was a dream. Right? So what I think this card is telling you is that you have more of your people in your experience already than you realize.
Oh,
right? It's kind of like, we can get caught up in a story about, oh, I don't have anybody who likes my things, blah, blah, blah. But what's true is your people are all around you. You just have to it's like opening your eyes and trusting that curiosity, trusting that enthusiasm, trusting that by following your bliss or your passion or your curiosity, you're going to meet your people. But not only that, the people that you already have in your life, you're going to discover that they're your people.
Okay.
Now, not all of them, maybe,
right.
But it's this understanding that you may be just operating under the impression that you don't have your people in your life, but maybe they're just afraid to talk about these things because nobody else talks about them. But as soon as you start opening the box, they'll be like, yeah, I'm there with you. Right.
Okay.
And I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be really surprised, because again, collectively, humanity is looking for outside the box. We want to get out of the box. That's where we have to go. We're getting too big for the box.
Yeah.
And so as you start to open things up and start exploring, and you share that with others, that courage card, right? With others, the courage to share your perspective or your discoveries with others. It's like you're giving them permission
Yeah.
to be excited and expanded and curious too, right? And they just never
Mm-hmm.
knew. They never knew they were into this stuff until you helped them to find it.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I think you'll be delighted. Again, that present card that you had, that one about the community, it's like, I think you already have way more community than you realize. And it's just been waiting for you to go, yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm doing my curiosity, and I'm going to just explore this amazing planet and all the wacky things that call me.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so last card, personal. I've been fairly open with my personal, not too much, but some on my relationship and, going to counseling. I've said all that on my channel. I have a really hard time communicating with my partner. He does have ADHD, so it's hard for him to focus, I guess. And he also has a lot of talents in the field that I'm trying to move in this other direction, but I feel like I need some help. And I don't feel like I'm going to maybe get it. Maybe I'm just trying to figure out, alongside of trying to take these new steps, should I leave him in? Should I leave him out? Do I try to convince it? I don't know what to do.
Well, I know what I want to say to you, but I'm going to let the cards speak.
Okay.
So what does Laura need to know about pursuing this new direction with her partner? What does she need to know about having him be a meaningful part of it, or at least sharing it with him? What do you need to know about this new project and your partnership? How's that? Does that summarize it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So we have the card of Force. So
what is it?
Force is the name of the card, and it's the Ace of Swords. So aces are like the acorn that grows into the oak tree in a particular suit. It's the suit of air, and air is about ideas and action. So Force, this card in particular, I say it all the time, it makes me think of pruning. I'm a gardener. So when you have an overgrown shrub, you need to come in with your secateurs and cut out all the dead, diseased, cross branches to start to get the light and the air flowing into the plant to bring it back to health. Okay. And then you take a look at the structure of the plant and you cut away. That's when you start to get sort of sculptural about it. You figure out what it needs to have more light and air circulating through the center, etc. So this is the card of deliberate application of force. And it's not force as in dominating another and controlling another person. This is the idea of bringing the mind, making a decision, and then clearing away what doesn't serve, taking action on something to clear away what isn't serving. And so I think what's interesting is as you refine this vision for yourself, as you clarify what this means for you and what you want to do, and you cut away the dead wood, so to speak, in your own creative process and your vision for your channel, and you re-hone it, and you start moving in the direction of your highest enthusiasm and curiosity, I would suspect that your partner will share your inspiration and excitement because you're coming from an authentic, inspired place. And I have a feeling that because he's your partner, he's probably really curious too. And the fact that you're opening up to just exploring your curiosity and doing something with that, again, if nothing else, it'll be a more interesting relationship, because of course it's more interesting to be in a relationship with someone who's excited about life, right?
Yeah.
And I also feel that if you start taking your channel in the direction of the High Priestess, where you're exploring the stuff that the world maybe isn't totally comfortable with, I mean, I don't know your partner, but I kind of get the sense that he's probably somebody who's curious about things that are off the beaten path. And you might find actually that there's quite an interesting synergy that happens here. So again, this sort of cleaning up, clarifying things, and again, focusing on you. It's not about pleasing him. This is about you clarifying, writing down your inspiration, your ideas, things you might want to explore, and just sharing your revised vision with him.
Okay.
And just let him know that you're excited and you're wanting to move in this direction. And if you're clear about pieces that you might need, just saying, would you be willing to help me with this piece or this piece? Because I need that for this, Okay. And if not, can you suggest where I can go to get that help?
Right.
But again, this idea of cleaning it up, cleaning it up for you, cleaning up your garden for you, because it's so much nicer to be in somebody's space when they're full of life and they're enthusiastic and they're directed in their path, right?
Right.
When
So it's
somebody's
like asking him into my garden and it's full of weeds and uncomfortable and
That's
not very
right.
pretty.
And he doesn't want to come and play. He's like, no, I can't sit down here. It's too much. It's just, I can't do that. And I feel like you're calling me into your garden to weed. And I don't want to come into your garden and weed.
Yeah.
I want to come into your garden and play.
Yeah.
You know, so it's this slight difference. And so as your energy has shifted, even just in the course of this reading, from being like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, blah, 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 to being more enthusiastic and like, okay, I'm going to go with my enthusiasm. I'm going to go with my curiosity. I'm going to let myself explore this. Your energy has shifted dramatically. And when we change, everything changes around us. Our partnerships, our relationships, everything shifts.
Wow.
So just be open, you know, as you do your good work and you share your excitement and your journey with him, there will be more openings and more clearing in your relationship as well, and more opportunity, you know, cutting away all that doesn't serve in the relationship too.
Yes. Wow. That makes so much sense. And so right now it does feel like that. Like I've had so many weeds all around. And yeah, so I mean, even when I wrote the email to you, I already just writing the email out was a shift, because I'm like, it's putting feelings down on paper. So this is for me, but for anyone, I mean, that's probably a good start. Like if anyone else is feeling real foggy, like I've been feeling, or confused and exhausted, or whatever you want to call it, just putting it into words is that a good start for?
I think it's always great to get out of, you know, because sometimes we could just get stuck in our own heads. You know, that's why vision boards can be so helpful, and having a journal can be so helpful. It's just taking it out of here and putting it out someplace else where you can look at it.
Right.
I think that's really helpful for just reframing our experience and understanding ourselves better. And again, just getting clarity. And I mean, if you're journaling the same thing over and over and over again over time, you're going to go, oh, okay, I seem to be stuck in a pattern.
Yes.
And then you can take steps to get unstuck. But it's the awareness of always is the first piece to change. You don't know you need to change until you have the awareness that something has to change.
Gotcha. Well, I guess one more question. I'm going to squeeze one more in.
Yeah.
So physically, I've been on a weight loss journey. I started, it's been like 2 years really, but the last couple of months it's been a pretty dramatic weight drop, and it's continuing, and I've never been able to get it to do that before. Especially being in menopause. I just, thank you so much. I started out at 267 pounds. I got under the 200 mark, which is like never happened since I was 20 years old. And it's moving. And it's almost like every pound that comes off, I can feel like the pain, or so. It's like each pound was pain layers. And it feels like I have to like feel every pound. Is really weird. Does that sound crazy? Or
no, not at all. Not at all. I think a lot of women, we take on layers of weight as protection against the pain that we're suffering. So it's a way to kind of insulate ourselves against the world and give ourselves a buffer. So it makes sense to me that you would be going through that. And also some of the people that I follow have been talking that a lot about how on the planet, again, as we're going through these changes, it's part of letting go of what's the old. You know, we have to feel the feelings and then just let them go. Doesn't mean you stay stuck in those feelings. It's just, it's like a note of music that needs to be played and then let go. And so it sounds to me like that's what you're going through, is this process of kind of, as each layer kind of comes to the surface, you're noticing it, honoring it, and then letting it go.
I think so. It's just it's starting, the change has been very fast, especially the last couple months. And I can't even see myself maybe where I'm at now. I still see myself what I was weighing. So it's bizarre to me that I put something on and it falls off. It's like, what? It doesn't make sense, because I feel it's sort of the same, kind of thing. So I guess where is this a weight loss journey going to go? Or I don't know what to ask. What's a good question, do you think?
Well, well, let's just keep it nice and broad. What do you need to know about your healing journey? How does that sound?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that encompasses all of it, right? Not just your physical.
And that's all. I don't want to overtake your time. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, it's great. I love doing it. I love reading for you. Okay, so what does Laura need to know right now about her healing journey? Oh, love it. So the card that you got is the 10 of Hearts, which is the success card, which is your present card from the first spread. So this idea of letting yourself experience the joy of where you are. I mean, we know that laughter is incredibly healing. You know, that energy of laughter, of levity, of lightness, and being joyful and being in a state of contentment and well-being in our heart is very, very healthy. I think that's, you know, that idea of peace and well-being and just deep comfort in our own skin. So what this is telling me is you're having these experiences. It's all good. It's all part of the process. And if it's leading you to deeper happiness and well-being in your own skin, that's what it's about. It's about you coming to a new relationship with yourself and feeling more joy and feeling more happiness and more well-being in your life. And I think it's interesting because this is sort of crosses over with, you know, what we've been talking about with your channel and the work that you're doing in the world. You know, it's about, I think what you're going to find is as you journey into even more authentic self-expression, you're just going to feel better and better in your skin. You're going to feel happier and happier. And it's going to be easier and easier to take care of yourself because you're loving yourself. You're loving your life. You're having a different relationship with life. And it's one of celebration and happiness and well-being. And again, you know, this idea of collaborators and your people and how that all comes together, you know, and the journey to ourself, the journey to our congruence and our self-love and our well-being, you know, on all levels. It's all part of that process. So what I'm seeing here is that you're on your way. You're there. You're doing it. You're living it. You've shown yourself that you mean it. You've held to it. You've stuck with it, right? And that shift in your own within you has been profound, and it's continuing. So this isn't some new thing. This is something that's already you started a while ago, and the momentum is just building and building and building. And it's beautiful and to celebrate it and enjoy it and recognize, you know, you really took it on, and I really acknowledge you.
Oh, thank you so much, Tanya. I can't thank you enough for this like reading, and I hope through this, you know, some of the people that I have gotten to know on the channel reach out to you, and I will obviously link all of your information below, because I really think that it's so funny because I told you in my email, I kept getting your face flashing through my head because when I was feeling really lost, and it was your face like constantly in my face, and I'm like, oh my God, I guess this is a sign I better do something, right? So I think that for others, I think that your gift is so huge. And when we first met, you know how afraid I was of all this. That's all gone now. Like, it is really just, you know, it's about the universe and trying to find your place and get to better places and all that, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity. I think that's one of the things I love so much about tarot is, you know, it's an opportunity to just kind of get an overview of your life and then to decide, is that really what you want? And I think sometimes we just go headlong in life and we don't stop and even just go, okay, this isn't feeling right.
Right.
And what I think is so lovely about tarot is the opportunity that it gives us to do that, to stop and look and reframe and redirect. And, you know, if you love your life, then keep going. But if you want it to change, and that's usually the people who come for readings, it's because there's an issue. You know, we unpack it together and then you take it where you want it to go.
What
Thank
a
you.
gift. What a gift it's been. It's like, what? Clearing up. And for those that want to reach out and get a hold of you, they can get readings with you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I have that weekly, I've been doing a weekly reading since the start of the lockdown and the pandemic last March. So that's my YouTube channel is Tarot with Titania. And every Friday I post a reading for the energy of the week. So everyone is welcome to go and listen and subscribe if you love it, and share with others if you find it helpful, because that's why I'm doing it, is to be in service. And then in there, I have a LinkedIn underneath, where my acuity schedule is, if you wanted to schedule a reading, a personal reading. So,
oh, that's so great. And you'll send me the link that you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah, I'll send it all to you.
Is there anything else to add before we kind of wrap up the...
Well, why don't we close with a prayer and
Okay.
finish your reading that way, and then we can chat more if you want.
Okay.
So I just invite you to close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with your daughter Laura, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to do this reading with her. I ask that you be with her and help her to uncover her enthusiasm and her curiosity, and let her play with all these good things that she's about to discover. Help her to have the support that she needs. Bring the right people to her so that she can enjoy herself thoroughly, having fun, exploring this world that she knows is possible in her heart, and sharing it with us in her own unique way, to help us see the world from a fresh perspective, because boy, we need lots of good fresh perspectives on the planet at this time. I thank you for the gift of Laura, for who she is, for her unique combinations of abilities and talents and personality and all that she is. Thank you for the gift of her. I ask that you bless her and those close to her, and help her to have a wonderful and productive and enjoyable experience. The reading is at an end. I want to thank all those who helped hold the space, and much love and light to each and every one of you watching now and in the future.
Oh, that's so great. Thank you so much again, Titania. And I can't thank you enough. And for all of you guys watching, you definitely want to tune into her channel. And if you have the time, just go ahead and book in with her, because it's incredible.
Thank you.
I'll say goodbye, but I'll hold you on here.
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody.
Take care. Lots of love. Bye to everybody.